Hey everyone, I got a quick review of this Shark IQ self-emptying robot vacuum. This thing is fantastic. I've had it for a year, and I'm going to tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So to start off with, I had some criteria for this vacuum. It had to be self-emptying. It had to have a mapping function so it doesn't get lost, because I've had a previous robot vacuum that just kind of bounced everywhere and it would always get lost. It would miss areas. This one is very methodical about the way it cleans. It cleans in a grid back and forth, and it maps out your entire house, and when it's done, it comes back and empties itself. So those were what I wanted out of this thing, and this thing does those jobs awesome. As far as the mapping feature goes, just leave all the doors open in your house that you want it to map the first few times it runs, and it builds a very detailed map of your entire house, and then you can assign rooms to it. You can set schedules. You can tell it to vacuum a specific room or vacuum every day at a certain time, and it does its thing. It's very hands-off. It's easy to just let it do its thing and not worry about it. It has really good suction. We've got a hardwood floor in the most of the house and some carpet as well. It can do both of those no problem. I've got a 90-pound lab mix that just sheds everywhere. And if we don't vacuum every day, there are fur tumbleweeds everywhere. And this thing solves that problem. It saves me from having to vacuum all the time, and it does a really good job of getting dog hair out of carpet. Surprisingly, I didn't think a robot vacuum would be able to handle that, but all of our rugs that the dog lies on all the time, I look at them close up and I can't see any dog hair anymore on them. Runtime on this is pretty decent. We usually have it vacuum all the rooms in our house except for bedrooms where the door might be closed. And it does it all in one charge, about a 2,000 square foot house. Occasionally it won't get through the whole thing if there's some extra dirty spots or it fills up the bin and has to come back and empty a few more times. So it'll sit there and recharge if it runs out of batteries, and then it'll finish its cleaning schedule on its own after it's recharged for a few hours. And that's awesome. It's very low maintenance. I find that I have to empty the bin in the tower probably once a week or a little bit less than that. If you don't have pets though, you're gonna be a lot less on the emptying front for this. I can see it going quite a while, and it's got a little window in it where you can see when it's full or not, and it's dark enough that you can't see how gross everything is in there. You can just kind of see the level. To empty it, all you do is push the top button, the reservoir pops out, and you can take this to the trash. It's got a handle on it. It's got a button right here. You click this, and the bottom drops out. Super simple to empty. Now, as far as maintenance goes, underneath here, it's pretty simple to clean out the roller. Just grab this, that pops right out. And you can clean this off if it's got hair wrapped around it. Just pop it right back in when you're done. And you're finished. These wheels are spring-loaded. They do a great job of helping it over up to like 3/4 inch tall obstacles. It does great on those. Of course, you've got your little spinners for getting into corners, and then you've got light sensors all around here that help it not go over the edge of stairs and things like that. And then right here is a big deal. You've got a compartment for a replaceable battery. So if you do have battery problems, I haven't had any with mine, but if you do, you don't have to scrap the whole thing because the battery dies. You can replace it, which is a huge deal. So the one complaint I have about this thing, and I think it's going to go for pretty much any robot vacuum, is it does map out your house fairly well, but it will occasionally bump into furniture with this front bumper. It stops almost immediately. It doesn't hit it very hard because this is very sensitive, but it is bumping into it. And over the course of a year, I've noticed I do have kind of like a line around the legs of some of my furniture that this thing is caused by bumping into them. Honestly, I think just about any robot vacuum is going to do that. It's definitely worth the convenience, in my opinion, to have a couple marks on my furniture. This is pretty quiet when it's vacuuming. You can definitely have a conversation around it. The loudest part is when it empties into the tower. It's got a ton of suction when it's doing that. And then after that, it's quiet again. Overall, I am super happy with this robot vacuum. It has really improved the quality of life of not having to vacuum every day. That's time back in my schedule that I can spend with my family. I can spend doing what I want to and not worrying about keeping my house clean. And that is absolutely worth every penny for this thing.